Hello everyone, the Nerdy Steve here, and today I will be featuring a green-white enchantment deck in Standard. The list is in the description below. I'm going to talk a little bit about the plan of the deck, and then we'll play a couple of games. So, let's go. This deck is very simple. You've seen this a lot before in Standard for a while. We want to cast a lot of enchantments as quickly as possible, and use cards like Generous Visitor and Kami of Transience to make our creatures big, to then overwhelm our opponent quickly. Now, this version of the enchantment deck is a little different from previous decks I've had. So we have Weaver of Harmony here, which is a 2-mana 2/2 enchantment creature snake druid that has other enchantment creatures you control get +1/+1, and you can pay 1 green mana to tap it, copy, target, activated, or triggered ability you control from an enchantment source. So with Weaver of Harmony, you can copy your Spirited Companion, triggers to draw an additional card, Circle of Confinement to exile an additional permanent, and Michiko's Reign of Truth to give a creature +1/+1 till end of turn for each artifact and enchantment you control twice. So you can make something really big with Michiko's Reign of Truth and Weaver of Harmony out on the battlefield. And so, while a lot of other enchantment decks might have Hallowed Haunting, which creates a spirit every time you cast an enchantment, a lot of our power here is going to come from the Weaver of Harmony. And so we're going to want to try and use it as effectively as possible to really make our spirits really big, and to have some interesting turns with copying triggered abilities. And that's kind of it. There's nothing really too special or nothing new to say. We want to cast our enchantments and our creatures as much as possible and kill our opponent. So, let's go see if we can do that. Also, if you haven't already, you should totally like, comment, and subscribe. That's a great way to help support me and this channel. If you have any deck suggestions, please let me know. I am always looking for more things to play. And I have a Twitch if you want to watch me play live Magic. And I have a Metafy if you're interested in coaching. Those links are down below. Now, thank you for watching, and let's play some games. So, we are missing white mana in our hand. However, I will keep because we have 2 Weaver of Harmonies, and we want to see how well they go. Also, we drew our white mana because that's what happens, so we're good. I still want to play with the Weaver of Harmony here to see what happens. I would love to be able to then copy a Spirited Companion ability next turn to draw 2 cards, though our opponent probably has some type of interaction, which makes me very sad. Though, because we have Jukai Naturalist, we are able to cast it and then potentially Weaver of Harmony anyway. So that might be something cool. Our opponent likely has a counterspell, but they don't. And I also played the wrong card. So, whoops. Everyone, be a little more careful when doing the ordering for your spells and abilities, because that can come back and bite you. And I will make that mistake so you don't have to. Ouch. So we need the Jukai Naturalist here, and then we'll play that. Now, it looks like our opponent is on some type of Jeskai spells deck. So, yesterday I think I made a video about the mono blue, and I've made... Wow. And I've made, like, there are Is-It versions going on. This is the first time I've seen with this Jeskai with Angel Flower Ignition, which is pretty interesting. So now, I have to figure out what we want to do here. We have no idea what our opponent has in hand. So we could Michiko's Reign of Truth it, but if our opponent has anything, that's just really bad. So I'm going to try and copy this spell or ability to make sure we draw a land. And we did. And so now what I want to do is, let's see if we can Circle of Confinement the Haudijin. Our opponent does have a negate here. And so now we'll Weaver of Harmony, and we won't do anything. We'll let our opponent Angel Flower Ignition. But now I think we can likely have a Michiko's Reign of Truth and pump up our Jukai Naturalist a lot here. Our opponent does have the negate, but that's kind of fine, because we get to do this again. And we get to copy it multiple times. Or, wait. We want to wait to copy it just in case our opponent has, like, I don't know, 4 damage removal spell. Because we can let 1 resolve and then copy it, and GG. Okay, this is the hand we have to mulligan. Doesn't do much. This is a much better hand we will keep. Get rid of a Katilda. We have the Jukai Naturalist on turn 2. Oh, and we also have a Weaver. Interesting. Oh, is our opponent also on enchantments? They are. Okay. So I'm gonna Katilda here. I actually, do you know what? I don't mind it. I should have attacked first. I don't mind this trade, I think. But I should have attacked first. Because I think Weaver of Harmony is probably better than Jukai Naturalist. Also, our opponent missed a land drop, so we'll get the wedding announcement and start attacking with a very big Katilda. I'm assuming our opponent... If our opponent misses another land drop, that's just absolutely wonderful for us. Awful for them, good for us. But we'll see. Opponent's probably trying to figure out what to do here. I'm assuming didn't draw land. Alright, there is a Kami here. So, this is an interesting thing. I think I want to hold the Michikos, or do I not? I don't know. No, we'll double it the activation next turn. I think we just want to go in and deal as much as we can. And then we'll get the creature earlier, too. Okay. Our opponent also has a Katilda, which is a little unfortunate. We want to copy. And now, thankfully, this is a lethal attack, so our opponent does have to block. Nice. Oh, our opponent didn't draw land. GG. This is pretty good. We get to Weaver of Harmony, and then probably go for the Double Spirited Companion activation. Which we like. Or even Katilda. It looks like our opponent is on mono white aggro. Chose not to attack. And I actually, let's go for the Katilda here. If our opponent has removal for it, like a Brutal Cathar, then that's fine. But I think the upside of the Katilda here allows us to deal more damage overall instead of just drawing cards with the Spirited Companion. Like, we can get the value later. We don't need it necessarily now. Alright, an Anointed Peacekeeper. This is very interesting. If I were our opponent, maybe I'd be inclined to choose the Weaver of Harmony. Because that not only means the one in our hand will cost 4, but now that to activate it costs 3 mana. So we're not going to be getting a lot of value very easily from copying our spells or abilities. And that seems like it would be the best thing because, yeah. Because choosing Michiko Reign the Truth, it doesn't really do much either, because we can still cast it. So, that's fine. So now we have to figure out what we want to do. I'm going to keep Boseiju in my hand. Let Spirited Companion draw. And then Michiko. Let's target the Weaver of Harmony. We could target the Katilda, which would ensure a lot more damage through, because our opponent could chump block. But here, we don't mind our opponent chump blocking, because we kind of want to get our Weaver of Harmony free. But right now, our opponent does kind of need removal for the Katilda, because it will start to do a lot of damage. So, we'll take 3 here. Now, I do also have to figure out what I want to do with the Michiko Reign of Truth. And I actually don't have to figure that out, so GG. Alright, we can keep this hand. We have the Commune with Spirits to find the white mana that we need. But also, if we draw Jetmir's Garden, we don't have to worry about that. So here we're going to go for a turn 2 Kami of Transience. And move up from there. Because now we can Jukai Naturalist into Circle of Confinement to exile whatever creature our opponent casts that we don't like, and we don't like a lot of what our opponent might be doing. A wedding announcement? So, this is interesting. We can Generous Visitor, and then Jukai Naturalist, and we can just make our Kami really, really big here. And I think this is the way we want to go. And now with our Commune with Spirits and our Circle of Confinements, we can put a lot of counters on the Kami of Transience, which is going to be a very interesting choice for me. Do we want to put all of our eggs in one basket, or do we want to diversify everything? So what I'm going to do first is Commune with Spirits to see what we draw. And we get a Spirited Companion. So what I'm going to do now is... I really want to keep the Boseiju because it can destroy the wedding announcement and really mess up our opponent's combat math when they go to block. But I want to Kami here and then cast this. And I think what I want to do here is I'm going to put a counter on this Kami of Transience. And because I want our opponent to not have the ability to remove this Kami and then meat hook to clear our board. So now if our opponent has a Infernal Grasp and a meat hook in hand, we will still have this Kami. And if I put the +1/+1 counter on the Jukai Naturalist, a meat hook for 3 plus an Infernal Grasp at our end step would have wiped our board, and I didn't like that. Oh, it looks like Magic froze for a little bit. So let's get it back. Alright, we're here now. We used up a little bit of our timer, but I think we're fine. So, let's commune with spirits first to see what's going on. Let's get the wedding announcement. And so first we can Circle of Confinement to get rid of an underdog. And then we can wedding announcement here. And if we attack with this is 15 damage. 15 minus 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have to do some very, very good math here. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if we attack with everything, our opponent can live. Let's attack with everything. This allows our opponent to get a Wandering Emperor with Owl, though, which is a little not great. But if our opponent doesn't get a Wandering Emperor, we're in a really, really good spot. Oh, they just die there. Okay. GG. Well, everyone, thank you for watching me play some Selesnya Enchantments in Standard. This deck I love. It's great. It's very, very quick and efficient. Everything works together. It is such a tightly honed deck that actually also has a lot of really cool and interesting decisions on, how much value you want to get out of a Weaver of Harmony, or, how you want to distribute your counters with Generous Visitor. And I think that type of agency in the games allows you to feel you have a lot more control than maybe other aggressive strategies. And I really, really enjoy that. There's a lot of really cool sequencing happening in this deck, and I think it really pays off on multiple playings to understand the value and importance of how you distribute your counters or what cards you want to remove. And if you can wait to, get value out of a Weaver of Harmony, or you just have to go for it. And I think it's a really, really good deck to help with those types of skills. So I would recommend it. It's really, really fun, really good. And I think it's relatively cheap on wildcards too. And it has Wedding Announcement, which everyone mostly has anyway. So A plus, build this deck if you want to, and I would recommend it. With all that being said, if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe. Great way to help support me and the channel. You could also watch me play live at twitch.tv/thenerdysteve, or get some coaching using my Metafy link, which all of that is down below. I hope you learned something. I hope this video was at least entertaining, and I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening wherever you are. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.